In this lesson, we're going to just talk generally about adding functionality to a class definition. And I'm going to give you two examples. One, we're going to create an increment method that we increment the day of a date object. And then we're going to write an equals method without overloading the equality operator that will compare two date objects. So there's a lot to do here, so let's get going. The increment method will simply increment a date by 1. In other words, the day by 1. You could have it take a parameter and increment by more than 1. But for this, we're just going to do it by 1. So really all we have to do is, first of all, just increment the data member day. Now, that's not enough because we need to check to see if we've push the day over into the next month. And that's quite confusing for a date, so I'm going to do it very simply by saying if day greater than 30, then plus plus month day equals 1, or day is assigned 1. And we're just going to assume in this nice little toy world that all dates are, that all months, are 30 days. So let's go back here. Let's start a new set of definitions here. And we're going to say date today is 3/29/2016. And then we'll display it. Then we're going to call the increment method. Oops. Then we're going to display it again. Then we're going to increment it again, and then we'll display it again. And let's see what we get. So, we started off on the 29th, we incremented to the 30th, and then our next increment took us over to the next day. So that's an example of how to add that kind of functionality. Now let's look at a method that will compare two date objects. To do this, what we need to do is we need to compare each piece to make sure that they're the same. So we're going to say if day equals, well, let's do it. Let's start with month. If month equals D month, remember that D is our, and that's the wrong equals operator. There we go. So to make this very clear, I'm going to put it in a double set of parentheses. So we're going to compare the and day equal D-day and year equal D-year. Return true, else return false. Okay, so let's create two objects. We'll clear this out. Whoops. Then we can say if today dot equals tomorrow, cout same date, else cout different date. And let's do an increment on today. Then we'll use the same if-else statement to check again. So what we should see is we should see if different date and then same date. So let's see if that worked. Different date, the same date. So with that, we've demonstrated two pieces of functionality: how to increment the day and how to compare two date objects to see if they are equal.